John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, CBE FRSL, 3rd of January 1892 to the 2nd of September 1973, was an English writer, poet, philologist and academic, best known as the author of the high fantasy works The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Professor of Anglo-Saxon and Fellow of Pembroke College, Oxford, from 1925 to 1945, and the Merton Professor.
Wikipedia, the free online encyclopedia at en.wikipedia.org. Recorded on October 7th, 2019. Contents. Section 1. History.
Tolkien was appointed a Commander of the Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II on the 28th of March, 1972.
Section 3. Special Purpose Cakes. Section 4. Shapes. Section 5. Cake flour. Section 6. Cooking. In their oldest forms, cakes were modifications of bread, but cakes now cover a wide range of preparations that can be simple or elaborate, and that share features with other desserts.
About a fantasy world called Arda, and within it, Middle Earth. Between 1951 and 1955, Tolkien applied the term legendarium to the larger part of these writings. Ancestry. Tolkien's immediate paternal ancestors were middle pianos in London and Birmingham. Originated in the East Prussian town of which had been founded during medieval German. The earliest known paternal ancestor, 1620. Michel's son, 1663 to 1746.
Common additional ingredients and flavorings include dry extracts such as vanilla with numerous nuts or dessert, pastry cream, iced with marzipan, piped borders, or candied fruit. And birthdays. There are countless cake recipes. Some are bread-like, some are rich and elaborate, and many are centuries old. Cake making is no longer a complicated procedure. While at one time considerable labor went into cake making, particularly the whisking of egg foams, baking equipment and directions have been simplified so that even history. The term cake has a long history. The word itself is of Viking origin from the Old Norse word kaka. The ancient Greeks called, which was derived from the word flat, plakois. It was baked using flour mixed with eggs, milk, nuts, and honey. They also had a cake called satura, which was flat, heavy cake. During the Roman period, was baked on a pastry base or inside a pastry case. The Greeks invented beer as a leavener, frying fritters in olive oil and cheesecakes using goat's milk. In ancient Rome, the basic bread dough was sometimes enriched with butter, eggs, and honey, which produced a sweet and cake and cake in his first book of exile, Tristia. Early cakes in England were also essentially bread. The most obvious differences between a cake and bread were the round, flat shape of the cakes and the cooking method, which turned cakes throughout the baking process. Sponge cakes, leavened with beaten eggs, originated during the Renaissance, possibly in Spain. Section 1.1 Cake Mixes. During the Great Depression, to millions of economically depressed people in the United States. One company patented a cake bread mix to deal with this economic situation and thereby established the first line of cake in a box. In doing so, cake, as it is known today, became a mass produced good rather than a home or bakery made specialty. Later, during the post war boom, other American companies, notably General Mills,
And his two sons, Daniel Gottlieb Tolkien, 1747 to 1813, and Johann, later known as John, family. The younger brother was J.R.R. Tolkien's second great-grandfather. In 1792, John Benjamin Tolkien and William Gravel took over the Eardley Norton manufacture in London, which from then on sold clocks and watches under the name Gravel and Tolkien. Daniel Gottlieb obtained British citizenship in 1794, but John Benjamin apparently never became a British citizen. Other German relatives also joined the two brothers in London. Several people with the surname Tolkien or similar spelling, some of them members of the same family as J.R.R. Tolkien, live in northern Germany, but most of them are descendants of people who evacuated East Prussia in 1945, at the end of World War II. Richard Dudzinski, the Tolkien name is of Low Prussian origin and probably means son or descendant of Tolk. The Notion Club papers under the literary Rash Bold. The couple had left England when Arthur was promoted to head the Bloemfontein. Tolkien had one sibling, his younger brother, Hilary Arthur Rule Tolkien, who was born on the 7th of 1994. As a child, Tolkien was bitten by a large baboon spider in the garden, an event some believe to have been later echoed in his stories, although he admitted no actual memory of the event and no special hatred of spiders as an adult. A young family servant took, returning him the next morning. When he was 3, he went to England with his mother and brother on what was intended to be a lengthy family visit. His father, however, died in South Africa of rheumatic fever before he could join them. This left the family without an income, so Tolkien's mother took him to live with her parents in King's Heath, Birmingham. Soon after, in 1896, they moved to Sarhol, now in Hall Green, then a Worcestershire village, later annexed to Birmingham. He enjoyed exploring Sarhol Mill and Moseley Bog and the Clent, Lickey and Malvern Hills, which would later inspire scenes in his books, along with nearby towns and villages such as Bromsgrove, Alcester, Alvechurch, and places such as his Aunt Jane's farm, Bag End, the name of which he used in his fiction. Mabel Tolkien taught her 2 children at home. Ronald, as he was known in the family, was a keen pupil. She taught him a great deal of botany and awakened in him the enjoyment of the look and feel of plants. Young Tolkien liked to draw trees and landscapes,